Hola amigos, hola amigas, welcome, bienvenido, croeso y salam, welcome to the channel y'all, Cheshire. Today I have something that I'm going to try and restore for somebody. Recently I went up to see Matt of Witchwasher and Luke, and I was given this fascia for a Zanussi washing machine to see if I can restore it and bring it back to its grey colour, because it is very miscolored and faded. So this is kind of like a bit of a test one, because I did one before and it retrobrighted really well, but unfortunately when it was still warm, because I do the retrobrighting process in the warm liquid, I rinsed it off and wiped it, and it wiped half of the display of everything, all the writing and everything. So what I learned with that is that once it's retrobrighted and you take it out and you rinse it off, because you just give it a quick rinse underwater without touching anything at all, leave it dry to cool down completely to stop the lettering from coming off. So that's what we're going to do with this one. Now this doesn't have any lettering on it directly. Let me bring you closer and then I'll show it to you. So it doesn't have the model number on it, so I wrote it down. This is the Zanussi ZFL 1023. So this is the first jet system that they did, and I've got 3 buttons, and as you saw from the pictures, they have really faded very badly from the grey to sort of like yellow, and you can see from the front as well. Now this is all covered in plastic, which is pressed in. There's a display there, sorry, the button there, the spin selector, which goes up and down, connects to the machine. There's a light that fits into there, so there's no electrics on this at the moment, it's just as it is, and that's the dial that turns around. The only thing is, inside here there's this plastic cover for it, and it is held into place with these 2 little tabs. Now, I wasn't going to do that because I didn't want it to break. I was going to wait until I cleaned it, but oh no, it's coming out. That's very handy. Okay, so I can remove this. Fantastic. I will give this the retrobright as well. So inside here, yeah, you can see on there it's been left at 0 or off. That is all yellow, and the rest is quite nice grey. So if I leave it on like that, what about the programs? Yeah, it looks like it's been left there as well, because that's the most bad miscoloured part of it. But it's really dirty. It's really dirty. So before I can retrobright it, I have to clean it. So to get this nice and clean, what I'm going to do is to soak it in some warm soapy water. So I've got this, which I bought especially for doing fascias, is this container. And what I'm going to do to clean it, I'm going to leave it in this bucket with just some warm soapy water. The detergent I'm going to use for this is some biological washing powder, because that will eat away at the dirt, and there's a lot of dirt in there and carbon dust. So that's what I really need to do to clean it. So let me go get that. Okay, so I put a towel down. I've got it here. I'm going to pour this in. Detergent. Okay, and I've got this soft like bottle brush. I'm going to use this to do the cleaning on it. Because we've got a lot of carbon dust, I'm hoping that the biological washing powder will kind of just entrap it. That's what it's supposed to do. Got some other brushes I'm going to use as well, but I really wanted to soak, to try and clean up as much of it before I start retrobriting it. Otherwise there's not much point if you don't clean it properly. It's definitely looking better. Right, so I'm going to leave this soak for an hour and come back with some other little brushes and stuff and make sure it is absolutely spotlessly clean. Okay, that's had a good half an hour soak. Time to get the paintbrush out. Getting all the nooks and crannies. See if I can agitate it enough so that the carbon dust will come off and not stick back on it, because carbon dust's a bugger. By the way, biological washing powder is fantastic for lots of stains, not just clothing or plastic, but also on your driveway. If you've got block paving or concrete and you've got oil, car oil on your drive, just pour on little mounds of biological washing powder on it, any brand, dry, and just leave it for days, and then just hose it off and scrub it off with a scrubbing brush, and you will find it's been eaten away. So I'm gonna go, I noticed that the dial was manky, so I'm gonna go over. That's better. Oh, that's cleaned up really nice. That looks better already, just cleaned. Slider works nicer. The other thing we got here are the buttons. Take the buttons out. That's the plastic display. This will be retrobrighted as well. That should take the yellow off. One more button. I think that's it. Right. So that's definitely now a lot cleaner. Right, I'm gonna rinse this off and let it dry before I retrobrite it. Empty out this, wipe it out, and get ready for the retrobriting. Right, okay, that's the plan of action. Let's crack on. Okay, so I've got literally everything ready now to start the retrobriting process. So I've turned the dials to the part where they were the most faded. We have it nice and clean. Now we need to weigh it down to stop it from floating. So I've got these clippy little things and fishing weights. And just finding the right place to put them on. Right, that should do absolutely fine. So we've got that in place. Let's get the liquids. Food grade. Yep. 3 covers everything. Except the other side of that bloody lens wants to float. Typical. Right, you little monkey. Let's get you. Right, so we have everything submerged now in the peroxide. I have the lid. Handles up. Locked in. I need to cling film up. One light, 2 lights, and there we go. That is it. We have to wait now for it to cook. I'll leave it there. Right, let's start the magic baking process. So I'm going to come back 24 hours and see how it's cooking. Okay, it is time for the big reveal. It's been 24 hours. Let's have a look. Turn the power off. Now, get my needle nose pliers and let's have a look at the one of the switches. No, there's not much change on that for some reason. I'm gonna have to give it a bit more time. Right, false alarm. And I'm going to leave it for a bit and see how we do this evening. Okay, so we're back and it's been 24 hours and I realized that I turned off the lights in here and I turned off these lights as well because they're all on the same what's her face kind of command. So the reason why there was no change yesterday was because the lights were off. So I've definitely made sure that the lights have stayed on for 24 hours. So let's take a look. Right, let me turn it off. Let's take a look. Yeah, not much. I thought it would have been. It's brought it down a tone, but it's not brought it back to the grey Sometimes it works on plastics, on some plastics, sometimes it doesn't. It's definitely made it lighter. Let me take these out. I wouldn't say it's made a major change on these, unfortunately. Yeah. Very, very slight change. It seems to have made, I mean, this plastic wasn't discolored much anyway, but yeah, unfortunately on this it's not made much of a major change, which is a shame. Oops. Right, let's get these off. There's no actual writing on the plastic, it's behind this plastic covering, so nothing's going to rub off because it's not going to affect it, but it's not really made much of a change, unfortunately. Well, that's a bit of a shame. Oh well, it definitely looks better than what it did, but it has not brought it back to its grey colour. Right, okay, let me get these rinsed off and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I've got them here. What I'm going to try and do now is I've got a polishing wheel and what I'm going to polishing cone, and what I'm going to do is see how I get on it's stuck, hang on, with some polish and see if I can get any of the stubborn stuff off using this. Right, I'm going to start with this button. Oh, it seems to be darkening them up. So that's pretty good. Let's do this last one, because the plastic looks all kind of like dodgy. Okay, well that's polished up nice and smooth. Looks really nice. And now I'm going to work on the front of this. Unfortunately, we didn't get it as back to its original color as possible, but it's definitely gone a couple of shades lighter, but it's not gone back to the original gray that it was. But it definitely looks a heck of a lot better now with a shine on it and maybe a couple of shades lighter. So a bit disappointed that we couldn't get it back to its original gray color. But plastics are plastics, and they're made of many different kinds of compounds and ingredients. It's not just something simple. Plastics is very complicated, and yeah, but it's gonna look nice on the machine anyway. It's definitely going to give it a fresh look, and it's lovely and shiny, like it's just come out of the factory. So that is one positive thing I'm really happy with. And yeah, it looks really good. Not 100%, but it's definitely 50% there. But there we go, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this. And this is going to go back to Luke. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to clean it up for you, at least to make the video. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye, y'all.